You get a pay raise. For a month, you feel like you're finally getting ahead, but then poof, the extra money just vanishes. Your lifestyle quietly inflates just enough to eat it all, and you're right back to living paycheck to paycheck, just with slightly nicer shoes. This isn't just bad luck, it's a financial trap designed to make sure that even with a rising income, most people never actually build wealth. That feeling of running faster just to stay in the same place, it's not in your head, it's a cycle, and it's fueled by hidden habits most of us don't even know we have. Here's a truth few people talk about. Most people aren't broke because they don't earn enough. They're broke because the money they make has a habit of disappearing, and they have no clue where it went. Global economic inequality remains extreme, with the richest fraction of the population owning a massive share of the world's wealth. But the story isn't just about stocks and inheritances. It's about the fact that the wealthy are playing a different game, with a different set of rules and, more importantly, a different mindset. They understand that building wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and what you do with it. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the 5 hidden habits that sabotage your financial future and keep you stuck. And stick around to the end, because we'll reveal the one powerful mindset shift that truly separates the wealthy from everyone else. This isn't about luck, it's about a playbook. Let's get into the first habit. Habit 1, the income wealth illusion. The most common trap is thinking a bigger paycheck automatically means more wealth. It's an illusion. For most people, a raise isn't a ticket to freedom, it's just permission to spend more. This is a sneaky habit called lifestyle inflation. The car gets a little fancier, the apartment is in a slightly better neighborhood, and you order takeout more because, hey, you deserve it. Each upgrade feels small and justified on its own. But altogether, they guarantee you're always treading water. It's like Parkinson's Law, which says work expands to fill the time available. Well, spending expands to swallow the income you have. You make more money, but your net worth, the real measure of your wealth, flatlines. You might feel richer surrounded by nicer things, but your financial foundation is just as shaky as before. The problem is that wealth isn't built by earning more. It's built by widening the gap between what you earn and what you spend. If that gap never grows, you can double your income and still end up with nothing. The mindset shift is to stop seeing every extra dollar as an excuse to spend. See it as a tool to buy back your time and your freedom. Wealthy people ask a different question. Will this purchase get me closer to my long-term goals? They know true wealth is often invisible. It's the money you don't spend on a new car that loses value the second you drive it off the lot. It's the assets you acquire that you don't need to show off. Many self-made millionaires make it a habit to save a significant portion of their income, automating it so their wealth builds automatically, not as an afterthought. Habit 2, the consumer debt anchor. The second habit that keeps people in financial quicksand is the casual acceptance of consumer debt. We live in a world where it's completely normal to finance everything: cars, phones, furniture, even a pizza with buy now, pay later. These services are masters of making spending feel painless by breaking it down into tiny payments. But it's a trap, an anchor dragging you down while you're desperately trying to swim to shore. Credit card companies have perfected this game. They don't actually want you to pay off your balance. They want you to make that minimum payment. Why? Because the minimum is calculated to keep you trapped in their system for as long as possible, paying them eye-watering interest rates. Carrying a credit card balance is like trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in it. Any progress you make is constantly leaking out through interest. It should come as no surprise that a common habit among self-made millionaires is avoiding credit card debt entirely. They use credit cards for convenience, not as a loan. The mindset shift here is to start treating high-interest debt like a 5-alarm fire. It's an emergency, not a tool. Wealthy people are allergic to bad debt, money borrowed for things that lose value. They understand the crucial difference between that and good debt, which is used to buy an asset that can make them money, like a rental property. Before they even think about borrowing, they calculate the total cost, not just the monthly payment. They'd rather save and pay cash for something that will depreciate than pay a bank interest for years for the privilege of owning it. Habit 3, the single stream trap. The third habit is relying on a single source of income, usually a 9-to-5 job. For generations, the script was simple: get a good job, be loyal, and you'll be secure. But in today's economy, a stable job is anything but. It just means you have one single point of failure that could vanish overnight. When you only trade your time for money, your earning potential is always capped. There are only 24 hours in a day. This is one of the biggest philosophical divides between the middle class and the wealthy. The middle class focuses on getting a raise. The wealthy focus on building new income streams. In fact, studies of self-made millionaires consistently show that the vast majority have multiple sources of income. One study found that 65% had at least 3 streams of income before they ever hit their first $1 million. This could be anything from a side business to dividend stocks, rental income, or royalties. They don't see their main job as the final destination. They see it as a launchpad, a source of capital to build and buy other income-producing assets. The mindset shift is to go from thinking like an employee to thinking like an investor. An employee asks, how can I earn more? An investor asks, how can I make my money earn more? This doesn't mean you need to quit your job tomorrow and risk it all. It starts small. It might mean investing a portion of your paycheck into a dividend fund. It could be learning a skill you can monetize on the side. The goal is to build systems where money works for you, even when you're sleeping. Over time, these tiny streams can grow into powerful rivers, giving you a level of security one job never will. Habit 4, the lottery mindset, the fourth habit, is one of the most dangerous because it's purely mental, the belief that wealth is an event. It's a winning lottery ticket, a hot stock tip, a surprise inheritance. People with this lottery mindset are waiting for something to happen to them. They see getting rich as a moment of luck, not a process of disciplined effort. This mindset cripples you with inaction. If you believe it's all just luck, why bother setting goals or taking calculated risks? It's out of your hands anyway. This thinking breeds a fear of failure. People are so terrified of losing a little money on an investment or failing at a side project that they do nothing at all, guaranteeing they stay exactly where they are. In contrast, many millionaires view failure not as the end, but as a crucial learning opportunity on their journey. The mindset shift is to take complete ownership of your financial destiny and embrace calculated risk. Wealthy people aren't gamblers, but they understand that the biggest risk of all is taking no risk. They don't throw money at things they don't understand. They educate themselves, start small, and make informed decisions instead of being paralyzed by fear. They know that wealth isn't won, it's built. They replace the hope for a lucky break with the discipline of a daily routine. The overarching 1% mindset shift, this brings us to the fifth and final point, which is less a habit and more the absence of one, living without systems. Most people approach their finances with vague goals. I want to save more. I hope to invest someday, but hope is not a strategy. Without concrete systems, those good intentions crumble the second life gets complicated or an impulse buy pops up. The money just disappears because there was no system to automatically tell it where to go. This is where the wealthy operate on a different plane. They don't rely on willpower, which is a finite resource. They rely on systems. They build a financial machine that runs in the background. The most important system is pay yourself first. The moment income hits their account, a predetermined portion is automatically sent to savings and investment accounts. It's not an afterthought, it's the first and most important bill they pay. For investing, they use systems like dollar-cost averaging, investing a fixed amount at regular intervals, no matter what the market is doing, to remove emotion from the equation. They have a budget not to feel restricted, but to give every dollar a purpose. They track their spending not to feel guilty, but to get a clear picture of their financial reality so they can optimize it. The mindset is that of an owner, not a consumer. The final unifying mindset shift is this. They see money not as something to be spent, but as a tool to acquire income-producing assets. Every dollar is a potential employee they can send out into the world to work for them. Their goal isn't to look rich, it's to be financially free. And freedom is purchased with assets, not luxury goods. This is the engine of wealth creation, using your income to buy assets that generate more income, and then using that income to buy even more assets. It's a slow, compounding process, but it is the most reliable path to true, lasting wealth. So let's recap the 5 things holding most people back. the income wealth illusion, the consumer debt anchor, the single stream trap, the lottery mindset, and a life without systems. Each of these habits is a leak in your financial bucket. You can work as hard as you want to fill that bucket, but if you don't plug the leaks, it's always going to be empty. The great news is you can change every single one of these. It starts by rejecting the idea that wealth is reserved for a special few. It's not about your salary or your background. It's about your mindset and your habits. If this resonated with you, I have a simple challenge. For the next 7 days, track every single dollar you spend. Don't judge it, don't change anything yet. Just become aware of where your money is actually going. This small act of awareness is the first, most powerful step toward taking back control. And if you want to learn how to turn that awareness into action, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We release videos every week with the practical steps and mindset shifts you need to build the financial life you truly deserve. Thanks for watching.